Hello everyone, I am Liz from French Toast and Books, and today I have created my very first book tag. It is the Crimson Peak book tag because when I first watched this movie last October, I was so overwhelmed by its scenery and the storyline and the script that I just keep thinking about it and I won't ever stop thinking about it, that I had to create this book tag. So I'm going to get started with number 1. Would You Be Mine? Thomas Sharpe is such a gorgeous, sexy character because it's Tom Hiddleston. But not only that, he's also so great with words and really great at hiding his baggage. So women are essentially doomed to fall in love with him, no matter how hard they fight. So I went to my bookcase to grab Clockwork Angel because my number 1 pick was going to be Jem, because Jem is one of my absolute favorite characters. However, as soon as I got to my bookcase, I found another book. And that is Thorne Blakemore from The Bargain by Frances Ray. This is my first dime store romance book that I have ever read, and he is such a smooth talker that he just fits this character persona so well. I'm sorry, Jem, you were bumped. Number 2, Ghosts Are Real. That much I know. Edith Cushing is such a kind-hearted, good-natured character, but she has so much courage and fight in her that she fights for her dreams and she fights for herself. So I am picking a character with the biggest heart and the strongest character to fight for her dreams. And I'm choosing Kayla from Tankborn by Karen Sandler. She fights. That's all she ever does, is fights for herself and for her nurture family and for everything that she finds out in the story. Number 3, Beautiful Things Are Fragile. Lucille Sharpe is one of the craziest characters I know, in the sense where she has so much love and caring for others that she doesn't know where to kind of place it. And it makes her character seem very overwhelming to the viewer. And so I picked a character that you thought was completely batshit crazy. And for this, I chose Amy from Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. She's so crazy and so in desperate need of love that yes. Number 4, A House as Old as This One, in time, becomes a living thing. The Crimson Peak manor is so breathtaking with so much tragedy behind it. It is so intense that I have a book with such beautiful scenery and descriptions that you are immediately thrown into the story. Here I chose The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, and I cannot find my own copy of this story. I don't know where I put it. So I picked The Time Machine because the imagery is so beautiful, and I had to read this book so fast because of H.G. Wells' description of the future. It was just so glorious. 5, You Have No Idea What They Do. A plot twist that completely shocked you. And with this one, I am going with The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. And I know the book didn't really surprise me because I had watched the movie, but when I watched the movie I was so shocked and in disbelief that I just took a double take. I was completely thrown out of the blue with the plot twist. Number 6, I feel as if a link, a thread, exists between your heart and mine. The best scene that shows two characters begin to fall in love. And in Crimson Peak, that ballroom scene where they're dancing with a candle, it's just so mesmerizing and so you can see the twinkle in their eyes. It is so beautiful and breathtaking. I chose the Leviathan series by Scott Westerfeld. The relationship blooming in this book is just so, I just loved watching it bloom through all three books and hit the final like decision point in the third book that I just, it was such a worthwhile build up that I was so happy. Number 7, has anyone died in this house? Specific deaths, violent deaths. Name the most gruesome or devastating death scene. As in Crimson Peak, Edith's father takes a very gruesome death. It was very, very hard to watch. And the books I choose for this one are of no surprise. J.K. Rowling can really kill her readers by the deaths she chooses to write. And so obviously the last 3 books of Harry Potter, there's The Order of the Phoenix, The Half-Blood Prince, and The Deathly Hallows. They all killed me, and the deaths in The Order of the Phoenix and also The Half-Blood Prince, I didn't fully believe that they were actually dead until the end of the 7th book because I was so devastated. I didn't want it to be true. 8. Love makes monsters of us all. A character that goes above and beyond to show his devotion and his love. 1. I choose A Sweetheart Thing by Liva Bray. It was one of the most devastating and powerful shows of affection by said character in this book that I cried and cried, and I'm sure if I ever tried to read this book again, I would cry more. It was the ultimate like sacrifice and to prove his love. And 9, advertising blunders, because we all know Crimson Peak was advertised as a horror movie released in October, and it is a gothic romance. It has horror elements with shocking ghosts and deaths and gore, but it is a romance. So a lot of people were very bummed when they watched this movie expecting a horror. It was not a horror movie, and the trailers completely bombed the advertising for that one. So pick a book that you began expecting one thing and came out with something completely different, and this one could be good or bad, and I am picking a good come out. I read The Water for Elephants by Saren Gruen, and I didn't go into this book expecting a whole lot. I just saw it at a yard sale and bought it and said, what the heck, I'll just read it anyway. And so I just read it on a whim, and I was blown away. I thought it was so good and so like breathtaking, and like their struggles, it was just, I thought it was just so miraculous, and I just loved it so much. Anyway, so that is my Crimson Peak book tag. I hope my questions are pretty well thought out, as this is the first one I've ever made, and I just wanted to share my love and devotion for Crimson Peak, and I hope this book tag has enticed you to watch the movie if you haven't already. Guillermo del Toro just wrote a fantastic script, and his imagination is so wonderful. Thank you for creating this awesome movie, and thank you for watching, everyone. Please leave me a comment down below if you have watched Crimson Peak and what you thought about the movie, good and bad. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!